know about you, but I love reading through the complaints sent to Carnival Ambassador John Heald and the polite but funny responses he often gives. This week, I picked a 4th of July doozy. Ahoy, travelers. It's Amy with Cruising from the Ozarks, and today we're going to have some fun in the Carnival comments. Like most Americans, I have great respect for the 4th of July holiday and what it represents for us as a country. However, our family doesn't really do a lot to celebrate, or maybe I should say we don't have any tried and true traditions. But we usually do try to get together and do something, even if it is simply burgers and bottle rockets. Not this year though, as everybody left on separate vacations and I'm the one at home doing everybody's chicken chores and going to work like usual. Oh well. Anyway, there was one person who seemed very put out that Carnival didn't create a special 4th of July menu to be served in the main dining rooms. Why does Carnival not have a 4th of July dinner menu? I'm here with my 3 children on the horizon. Our waiter told us Carnival does not have a menu. Obviously they have a menu, they just don't have the menu this person wanted. I have cruised with your rivals who gave us barbecue chicken, baked beans with wieners.
Ask me about my wiener!
People, stop saying wieners. They're hot dogs or brats, but they're not wieners. Where is this person from? Please, people, stop it. Just stop. Chili, corn on the cob, red skin potato salad, lime jello with sliced pears, which honestly makes me feel a little bit sick thinking about. And peach ice cream as choices. These are the classic American dishes with accompaniments. Lime jello was not a classic American dish. I don't care who you are. It isn't. Can we still order these things if not on the menu? No, you can't. You cannot order these. Can I have a special grilled out menu for yourself in the main dining room? Who do you think you are? John, show your beards the main dinner menu. First of all, what is the main dinner menu? Like Maine, the state, the very small state? Is they're saying that that's the menu we're supposed to be having, or do they spell main wrong, like main dining room? I don't know. John refers to the people in positions of power in Carnival as the beards. They're the ones that are like the CEO, president, board members, people in charge of various parts of the organization, the ones that can make changes. So that's what this person means when they say the beards. That's what John calls them. Anyway, continuing. That's what you guys should have. My family are downcast about this now. Scrap all the fancy food on Independence Day and make this the dinner menu. Yes, because what you think should be the menu is what everybody else agrees should be the menu. Let's see what John Heald had to say. Thank you, F. Now, he never puts her full names out. He just does an initial. Thank you, F. And it is important to know many of these items are already available at lunch from the Pig and Anchor. Anyway, what a huge party there will be tomorrow night, July 4th, and it is a brilliant time to cruise. I think this is the first time I've ever heard of anyone asking for a special 4th of July menu. What are your thoughts on this, and what will you be cooking or eating tomorrow? Oh, and think about it. If things had gone differently, you would all be eating fish and chips, toad in the hole, and spotted dick for dinner. Which, I just love that. You have to love John Heald's response. He's a British man, and that was a pretty good comeback at the end. So what do you think about this request and others like it? It wasn't like Carnival was ignoring the holiday. They had things planned for 4th of July. They just weren't changing the menu in the main dining room, the place where you're supposed to have fancy meals.
That's fancy.
It seems like there are just quite a few people out there who complain about all kinds of things like this. I mean, I go in quite often to John Heald's Facebook page and read these comments because I think they're pretty funny. These people just seem to be wanting all kinds of special things done for every occasion. They complain about everything from not getting to watch sports ball on the big screen on the Lido to not getting a special meal for every American holiday. Before we get to some of the comments on this post, if you enjoy this video and maybe even learn something, consider subscribing with the notification bell on so you don't miss any future posts. Be sure to hit that like button as well. It only takes a second, and doing so helps cruisers like you find us. Now, personally, I think that this person making this complaint would have also complained if there was a special Canadian meal provided in the MDR on Canada Day, which was just a few days ago. Like, get out the French fries smothered in gravy. But let's go into the comments and see what other people had to say. Between the deli, buffet, and the Guy's Burger Bar, there is plenty of American food on board. Agreed. We're on board Miracle, and tomorrow is our lobster night in MDR. I'll celebrate Independence Day just fine with that. Please don't replace it with a hot dog. Can you imagine if you're like, oh, this is our lobster night in the main dining room. You get in there and you're like, happy 4th of July. Here's a hot dog. It's cold because it took so long to get from the... Because a hot dog goes cold in 3 minutes, and it takes longer than that to make it up to from the kitchen to the main dining room. I mean, honestly. Pig and Anchor is the place they ought to be. Now, that's a very creative way of spelling ought to, but I agree with the sentiment.
That's just lazy writing.
I'm not sure that's everyone's thought for celebrating the day. It's about more than just picnic food. Agreed. Now, a couple things about this. Number one, the holiday is about so much more than fireworks and grilling. Okay? It is about the independence of our country, the beginning of our country, an experiment that was like none other that had happened before. So it's important that people remember what the actual holiday is about and stop focusing on their personal traditions, because you have to remember that America is a huge country, huge. And traditions are different regionally and personally from family to family. My family doesn't have the same tradition that my friend's family has. And so to think that one person can come on and say, this is the tradition that all Americans have and you should honor that, is asinine. Moving on. If I'm on a cruise, I don't need or want to have cookout food. I can eat that at home. Stick with the great dining room menu. You can see there were lots of comments that were like this. LOL, if I wanted hot dogs and baked beans, I would have stayed home. Nah, you'll be all right. Pig and Anchor is your best bet. And a lot of people brought this up. Pig and Anchor, Pig and Anchor. Just go to Pig and Anchor. Go to the buffet. There'll be stuff there that you can have that will meet your traditional grilling needs.
Barbecue.
And finally, never in my wildest dreams would I classify lime jello as a classic American dish, at least not one that I enjoy eating as an American. And I agree with this. Lime jello with pears? I have never even seen that combination. I've rarely ever seen anybody serve lime jello anywhere. Now, I've seen a lot of the jello Cool Whip hybrids. My grandmother used to have one that was peach in color. I do not know what was in it. I never ate it. She brought it all the time when I was a kid to family meals. There's some tradition in these weird salads that we have as Americans, but lime jello I don't see as a traditional dish across the U.S. Continuing on, either way, cruises don't belong to Americans. When will we ever understand this? And I can't agree with this more. I feel like Americans tend to be very confused maybe about the fact that they're not the only people in the world and that there are other traditions out there and other cultures out there. And even there's multiple cultures within the U.S. itself. I find this especially odd amongst travelers. Like, I would consider people who go on cruises to be travelers, and travelers usually have a little bit more respect for the cultures around them and other people. Yes, Carnival is a US-based company, but it's not full of only Americans on the ships. Even the ones that leave out of the US will be full of Canadians and people from Britain and Australia. There's people from a lot of countries, not to mention the fact that there are so many people from other countries working on the cruise ships. I just think people need to be a little bit more understanding that the way of they do things is not the way everybody else does things. Let's go ahead and continue this conversation in the comments below. What are your 4th of July traditions? Are there foods that you usually eat? Is lime jello one of them? And exactly what do you think of this Carnival complaint? Why not stick around and check out this video and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone, and happy Independence Day.